So Pascal, congratulations on all the success in 2014 with the very impressive Toyota P1 car. Now you have the big task of repeating and hopefully adding more wins. Tell me about the thought process into developing the car for 2015.
Yeah, it's true. We are back at school at the moment, and our success from last year are already behind us. Now we have to look at what is coming. So we have been, I guess, very pragmatic in the approach of this year. Yes, we have seen that our performance level last year was good enough, I would say. So we did not scrap anything. Our car this year is pretty much an evolution from last year's car. We did not restart from a clean sheet of paper. We have been building on what made a pretty good performance last year. Nevertheless, we are in a category where in the background you have a lot of, I would say, continuous improvement processes. So we have the aero development process, which goes on every day, every week, and this has produced a totally new bodywork. It means every single part of bodywork, even if it looks familiar, it looks similar to last year, everything is new. In terms of chassis, we kept the monocoque itself, but a lot of other parts have been changed, especially the suspension. Suspension kinematic is quite new in many details, and globally I would say we have redesigned 80-85% of the car. So it stays familiar, very close to last year, but most of it is new.
On the hybrid side, we've seen an interesting move this year in where we have each of the megajoule classes represented by different manufacturers. Tell me about the process for Toyota, which is already last year most powerful, but how has that evolution been for you into 2015?
I think everyone between 14 and 15 has increased its hybrid energy output. But according to where everyone was last year, it translates into a jump of one category or not. In our case, definitely, we have a more powerful hybrid system this year. We have more powerful motors. We have a bigger capacitor. Nevertheless, we stayed in 6 megajoule for the reason that last year we were not exactly in 6. We were somewhere in between 4 and 6. So what we expect this year is to be close to 6 in almost all circumstances.
Looking at the assistance from that 6 megajoules, I think, tell me if you agree, but coming into the WC a few years ago, you had your internal combustion engine and then the help from a hybrid system. It seems today that with some, it's maybe not help, it maybe even be closer to 50-50 on how much power output's happening. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's 50-50, and even in the boost phase, it's a little bit more from hybrid side. So it's key. It's very central at the moment for the performance, to the point that the level of hybrid energy you are able to release has implication for all parts of the car. It has implication on the level of fuel you consume. So it has an implication on when you have to lift off to save fuel. It has an implication as well on the aero definition of the car. It changes, I would say, the kind of ratio between downforce and drag where you have to develop the car. So it has huge implications simply because it's really a big step in terms of car performance.
I think if everyone could do 8 megajoules, they would, yet there's obviously weight limitations, or I shouldn't say limitations, but weight penalty. How do you balance the ability of wanting maximum megajoules, yet practical reality of how much weight you can reduce or weight or time you might lose with extra weight?
I think we just go for a weight budget for the hybrid system. We know that running overweight is not really an option because then you lose time every single lap. So we go for a weight budget, weight allocation for the hybrid system, and then you do your best within this weight allocation.
Looking forward, I mean, you have very unique supercapacitor system. Do you foresee having to move to a battery or a different system for next year to reach 8?
Since a while, we are looking at both technologies, capacitor batteries, and we are monitoring when we will consider that it's time to switch from one technology to the other. Obviously, this year we believe that still an enhanced capacitor is still the way to go, but we question ourselves every year, basically.
So one more last question, that is, looking at the ERS assistance, then also looking at the fuel restrictions, I know that having to coast a portion of each lap is required to meet the requirements per lap. do you see a time where we might not have to coast, or do you think that will be an accepted part of the program always?
No, it is accepted and it is basically handled in a satisfying way. But the better the hybrid system becomes, the stronger the boost is, the less fuel cut you have. So it's as well one of these interactions between the hybrid system and the combustion engine.